Alrighty. Hello, everyone. We're back with it. Apollo 11. Let's start the clock. So we have to terminate cabin purge. Sure. Waste stow valve closed. Direct O2 open. Gonna take our seats off now. So we're just needing to take the cabin pressure up. And now we just mount the coas. Give ourselves a little GDC and IMU alignment, which it looks really good, so we won't need to do it. And now we just chill till we maneuver to our attitude. Yes, hello. We are waiting for our maneuver to separation attitude at this moment. And we are, of course, on our way to the moon. Morning. Indeed, we are. We're heading right for the moon now. Just gonna grab myself a little breakfast while I got some time. I think I've got another minute or so. As you can see, we are cruising pretty far away from the Earth pretty quickly. So once we are further away from the Earth, we will do our transposition and docking, where the orbit's more of a straight line as opposed to a circle. It just makes docking a little bit easier. So that's going to be coming up. Our maneuver is going to begin 15 minutes after maneuver to SEP attitude. Um, or 15 minutes, sorry, our maneuver to SEP attitude is going to begin 15 minutes after TLI, which is very, very soon. We are just waiting on the apps to kick in pretty much. You'll have to excuse me for being just a little bit quiet. I got myself some breakfast real quick. This video will cover the P, D, and E. Transposition, docking, and extracting of the lem. Curious about your impact of the time-based 6 correction. Nothing I do will change the time-based 6, even if I didn't start the event timer. The stage is igniting all on its own. As a matter of fact, you can fall asleep and do nothing, and you'll have a perfect TLI. You'll have a bad state vector, but you'll have a perfect TLI, right? So the system operates automatically, so nothing I do will affect that. Now, not making the time-based 6 correction just means uplinking it to the booster just means that it won't do TLI at the right time. That's about it. Yeah, but we are going to cover transposition, docking, and extraction. All right. So, transposition, docking, and extraction tutorial. We need to compute our docking attitudes to start off with verb 60, then verb 63, and this will deflect the needles the proper way. Verb 16, noun 20, shows our current attitude. And now we need to compute the docking attitude. So this is a very simple calculation. You take your current roll, which is about 0.8. Now we'll just call it 1. And then you subtract 60. So that's negative 59. Now you do 360 minus 59, and that gets you 301. So 301. Now we do pitch plus 180. Pitch plus 180 is going to be 106 plus 180. That's going to be 286. And now we do the offset from 0 of row 3. And that sounds more complicated than it actually is. You simply just do 360 minus 40.52. That gets you 319.48. Now that we've come to a stop, let's recalculate the roll, which was, let's see here, 1.55. 1.5 minus 60. And 360 minus 58.55, and that's just a 301.4 roughly. And then pitch was our plus 180, so 105.62 plus 180. That's going to be 285.62. Roll is not perfectly stabilized, so we do just have to wait for that. Sorry, I was playing some music while we were waiting for the maneuver to complete. I'm going to call this just 301. I think it's going to keep going down. And now that we're in, we do verb 49, enter. Verb 25, enter. And our calculation was plus 30100, enter, plus 285.62, enter, and then plus 319.48, enter. And now we've loaded the extraction attitude. We also need to verify our docking probe is set to retract. And now we need to activate our RCS for standard configuration, like so. Delta V set, and we'll do minus 100. This is just an arbitrary number that we set up. It has no significance. It just makes it easier to see how you've changed your velocity. So minus 100 is good. Rate needs to be low. Translation on. Normal and direct on. Then go CMC and rate 2. Ensure RCS logic circuit breakers are closed. And for logistics reasons, TVC servo needs to be on. Just one of them, not two. And then DET stop, reset. And we set it to 59, 40. Counting up. Basically following the checklist, RCS command on, PCM bitrate high, tape recorder is good, uplink telemetry command, reset then normal, Delta V, go normal, arm your pyrotechnics, CMC mode auto, and now at 3 hours, 14 minutes, and 40 seconds, we begin our DET count up. So 20 more seconds. You can see in just the span of under an hour, we're already that far away from the Earth. It's very, very impressive. Count up.
Translation.
And now, at 58 seconds, we do plus X and hold, and then SEP. Plus X and hold, SEP. And stop at minus 100.8. You may need to change view after doing that, and you can close the cover. And there you have it. We are separated, and we're going to drift for about 15 seconds, and then thrust back, like so, to minus 100.5. At this point, close your secondary propellant fuel pressure valves. They should already be closed. However, the shock of staging might have opened them, and because we don't have indication, it's something we need to do. Go verb 62, enter. And now proceed. Now we do manual attitude pitch to Excel command, and we're going to pitch up at 1.5 degrees per second.
Rotation. Translation.
So do a pitch up.
Rotation.
1.5 degrees per second. And then hit proceed on the computer. And now we begin our maneuver to our transposition and docking attitude. Switch pitch to rate command. And we wait for the maneuver to complete. While we are waiting, we can set our pitch and yaw on the high gain antenna. So minus 15, 30, 45, minus 52. It's about right there. And plus 270. And then when we need to, we can just go manual and high gain antenna power on. So go manual, wait for high gain antenna power on, and then we'll get our 2 high gain antenna circuit breakers in. We're doing this just a little bit ahead of time before the completion of the maneuver because we're only one person and we have to be quick. Now that we are in our attitude, flip high gain antenna to power, and we can see high gain antenna is maneuvering to its idle attitude. And now
Translation.
we thrust forward. And we are aligned with the docking target. Now we just stabilize and align. And then we do our docking. So Bmags, attitude 1, rate 2. And we need to close at 0.25 to 0.5 feet per second. Any translation you make should be just tiny bursts until the anti-setters are done making their corrections, like so.
Rotation. Translation.
So we will go SCS now.
Rotation. Translation.
You can see we need to come a little to the left, a little up. Now we do need to make some fine-tuned corrections, so
Rotation.
we will give us a little bit of roll there. And this is pretty much a perfect docking attitude. So we're closing now.
Rotation. Translation.
We can come a little forward.
Rotation. Translation. Rotation. Translation.
And we just perform docking. Yeah, that maneuver of having the computer maneuver like that to transposition and docking attitude it's always going to scare me, right? Because it's kind of crazy. You're maneuvering very quickly. The trick is to maneuver quickly, right? So you pitch up, and then you get the auto maneuver going, and then you flip back to raid command after a bit. And the trick is to get the computer maneuvering really quickly. So we are closing perfectly.
Rotation. Translation.
Our attitude is looking real good. Thrust back a little bit. Let's prepare for docking.
Rotation. Translation.
So we can see we are stabilized extremely nicely. Let's check our speed. We do need to thrust back a little bit. We're closing at just a little too fast. So we'll bring us down very soon. There we go. Bring it down. Just a little slower. Okay, right on the money. Okay, we're not there yet. Almost. We are great on the fuel usage. I will say that has been absolutely spectacular fuel usage. Tremendous fuel usage. Capture. Okay. CMC free will allow vibrations to dampen. Okay, vibrations dampened. Let's bring her in. And we've got hard dock. Talkback's great. Safing the pyrotechnic system now. BCM bit rate low. Post docking rate is high. Attitude deadband max. Coas power off. Gonna unmount it as well. RCS logic A and B open. TVC servos off. EMS standby off. BMAGs rate 2. Tunnel lights on. And we will begin pressurization of the interior of the lunar module. So emergency cabin pressure select off. Make sure your direct O2 valves fully closed. You're on CM or LMCM delta pressure. And open the equalization valve. When our cabin pressure falls to 4.5, we are going to close the equalization valve and ensure that the hatch is properly sealed so that we are not venting our cabin oxygen out to space. So cabin pressure is 4.5. Let us do a little check here. Close the pressure equalization valve. And now we let the flow of air sort of come to a stop. Once the airflow has come to a stop, we just ensure that this gauge is stable for about 3 minutes. So it should come to rest at about 3.1 and come to a stop. And here we can see the hatch is stable in pressure. So that's good. We can reopen the pressurization valve and bring the cabin pressure down to 4.0. We use the interior of the cabin to pressurize the interior of the lunar module, so we can't let this fall too much. Once we get to 4.0, we come up to here, and we're going to open the repress O2 valve. And we're going to bring this up to about 5 to 5.7. So here we're at 5. And now we can close the repress O2 valve. And we're basically going to cycle between 4 and 5.7 until we're entirely out of repress oxygen. So we bring her back down as low as she'll go. But nothing less than 4. We could see it sits at around 4.5 for quite some time. So that's good enough. We'll open the O2 valve now. Take it up to 5.5. Suit compressor alarm. And we could see if we come over to here, our repress package is almost entirely empty. So we'll repress the entire way. Now that that's empty, O2 flow, yep. That's pretty normal. Now that it's empty, we can close the repress O2. And the cabin pressure should be at above 4 at this point. Good. Now we just wait for the finishing out of the pressurization of the lunar module. Once the pressure is equal, just ensure you can open the hatch like so. And once you can, take emergency cabin pressure back to both and repress package to fill. We're going to fill the repress package from the pressure stored in the surge tank now. LM tunnel vent valve to off. And we can resume our cabin purge of the solid waste stinky stuff. And now we open the hatch. We verify our docking latches. Our 12 docking latches, they look good. And at this point, we would connect the power umbilical if that was an object that we could physically connect. Ensure LM power circuit breaker is in, and transfer lunar module power to CSM. We're going to test that that's working by going to system test for delta. And this should have 0.5 to 3.2 volts. And once that's good, you can reinstall the hatch. Close the equalization valve. And in order to close it, you may need to just do that. There you go. And return the vent valve to LMCM delta pressure readout. And turn off your tunnel lights. So there is transposition and docking. Alright, what'd you guys think? Hope you all found that enjoyable. We are pretty far from the Earth now. We are waiting for our next checklist to come in now, so I think I'll get the music back on. And we're gonna go to Mozart. Actually, no, Joseph. Yeah, that's better. Kind of fits the mood. Best I can do, royalty-free music and all. Alrighty. Here's our evasive maneuver pad. Okay, we've got our evasive maneuver pad in now. We're going to begin steps for LM ejection. So delta V set. Again, minus 100. Delta V and norm. Now we need to load the digital autopilot for having the LEM on board. Before we loaded it for just the CSM so that we could do our maneuvers. Now we need CSM and LM, so 2, 1, 1, and 0, 1 instead of 0, 2 because we have the LEM in tow now. And we're going to switch to AC roll. Proceed. And we should get a calculated CSM weight. Plus 63802. Enter. Proceed. And the gimbal angles for this maneuver, verb 24, enter. The gimbal angles for this are plus 00097, enter. Minus 00023, enter. Proceed. Verb 46, enter. DET, stop, reset. And then you're going to bring it along to 4 hours, 8 minutes. Okay, we are at 4 hours, 8 minutes now. I think it's time to pause the music as we're going to need our concentration abilities now. 4 hours, 8 minutes. Let's get the pyrotechnics armed up. Again, for logistics reasons, TVC servo. And we're going to start program 47. Verb 37, enter. 47, enter. We need to make sure that our separation circuit breakers are in. Once program 47 is loaded, at 4 hours, 9 minutes, and 45 seconds, you can start your event timer. So we'll set the start to neutral, and we'll just truck along here close to that mark. 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. And now we just separate. So S4B, LM sep, fire. And
Translation.
CMC auto. Thrust aft. 2, 3. Good. Once we've drifted far enough away, proceed, 0, 0, enter. Now we can safe the pyros. And unplug our S4B LM circuit breakers. Go to gimbal position indicator now that we're not attached to the launch vehicle. TVC servo power off. EMS standby and off. THC off. Rotation direct off. And now at 4 hours, 12 minutes, we're going to begin our evasive maneuvers. So we'll cruise along. And here come our evasive maneuvers. Verb 37, enter. 30, enter. We need to load the time of ignition displayed on screen. Verb 25, enter. So it's going to be 4 hours, 40 minutes, 2.21 seconds. So 4 hours, 40 minutes, and 2.21 seconds. Now we need to load the delta V's. This is going to be +5, +0, +1.9. Now you may get a RCS separation, and those tend to be actually just a little bit complicated. That's something we're going to be covering most likely after our completion of Apollo, or Apollo 11, because those are in Apollo 12, and we are a long ways from getting there, so that tutorial is going to be ways out. But the procedure for it, I believe you guys are smart enough to follow it. Just know that it will be just a little complicated. Attitudes can be subjective at points, so it's just something you'll have to be prepared for. So we've loaded in our external delta V. Now we set our compensated delta V on the EMS, basically doing a normal maneuver at this point. Only reason I'm including it is simply because it is the separation maneuver, which has to do with transposition and docking. Otherwise, I wouldn't be covering it. You guys already know how to do these. Okay, verb 62, enter. And now we're going to load our evasive maneuver attitude into verb 49. So roll is 0. Pitch is 212. Yaw is 357. And we'll maneuver to attitude. And we are now approaching our separation attitude. And we are stable. Hit proceed again, just to make sure we get the fine-tune attitude good. Enter. And now we bring her down to the 10-minute mark. Once we are down to our 10-minute mark, we'll begin program 40. So verb 37, enter, 40, enter. Transfer control of the attitude to program 40 by hitting proceed. And we need to close the circuit breakers required for an SPS burn, and that they are verified already closed. All these are on rate command, deadband minimum, rate low, translation on. SCS TVC will now go to rate command. Since it's our first SPS burn, that's always required on the first burn. And we'll take her down to 6 minutes. Six minutes, again, same as any other SPS burn. Batteries on, TVC servo on, rotational normal to AC, attitude 1 rate 2, and SCS, and take her down to 5 minutes. At 5 minutes, we're going to start the trim systems. Verify no manual thrust vector control, which is good. Although I will say we
rotation,
we're on translation. That would be why. There we go. No MTVC, that's good. CMC. Pitch to start, yaw to start. And then again, the little tip for getting everything centered out. Minus, plus, 0. Again, center everything out. Minus, plus, 0. And now we set the pad values. So our pad values are +1 and minus 0.2. Now we check. We do have MTVC control. That's great. Port handle neutral. And we'll go AC/DC, direct on now. BMAG's rate 2, transfer attitude control back to program 40. Once it's 50-15, BMAG's attitude 1 rate 2. Enter, and proceed for gimbal check option. And the trim should load after 5 or so seconds after that. There we go. Trim is in. Scale down to 50-15. Rate to high. Ensure helium valves are auto. It's good. Now we'll take her down to 2 minutes. Since this is a really short burn lasting only 3 seconds. We're just going to do it on bank A. So we're down to 2 minutes. We will arm bank A. There we go. 35 seconds, Disky blank, 30 seconds, EMS norm. And then we could take her down to about 10 seconds and wait. 5 seconds. Proceed to confirm. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. 2, 1. Cutoff. And begin safing procedures. Proceed. And we are not going to null the residuals on this burn because the checklist tells us. EMS function off and standby. Attitude deadband will go to max. Non-essential bus off. THC power off. Direct off. Rate 2. And we'll open the circuit breakers. PCM bit rate is low. Proceed. CMC free. 0, 0. Enter. DET stop reset. Now we'll just check our RCS quantity and temperatures. And they look great. We used less than 5% fuel for transposition, which is really good. Like almost stupid good. The engine is doing great. We just check out our helium and our N2. We could see bank B has a slightly higher N2 than bank A because we never lit bank B. We do have to keep those somewhat balanced. So our next burn, if required, a short burn will be on bank B, of course. Once you're done, get a verb 66. And there is extraction of the lem. Thank you. So that's it. We've extracted the lem, and we're now going to prepare to observe the S4B slingshot. And look at how small that Earth is. It's magnificent. Okay, give us a verb 49. verb 25, and we're going to observe the S4B slingshot maneuver. 29400, and all zeros. Proceed. All right, we are in attitude now. So if we look up, we should... Where is it in the optics? Oh, it might be this window. Nope, this window. This one. This one? Where is she? Ah, there she is. Now we just wait, and we're going to observe the slingshot maneuver. Oh, that's a slaw panel. Hold on, where is that S4B? Well, there's one way of doing this. Camera, target, vessels, S4B stage, apply. And now we observe the slingshot. Which should be starting up any minute now.
Welcome aboard, Commander. All systems nominal.
Don't think I'm supposed to switch to the S4B itself, but we will go back to this. There it is. All right. And there it is. Slingshot maneuver is complete. And now the S4B will propulsively or non-propulsively vent the rest of its gas. Oh, it may have actually been. No, that's another slot panel. I don't quite know where the S4B is. It's supposed to be in this window, but it's possible the attitude is just a little off. But at this point now, we'll take the suits off. The dreaded P-23. The dreaded P-23s. Here we go. Oh wow, that's a really fantastic mark we just took there. That was great. Wow. I'll take it.
Translation. Location.
How much fuel is remaining in S4B after jettisoning? A small amount. Very, very small amount. And then that fuel is then dumped. That fuel is dumped to perform the evasion maneuver. I can't for the life of me get this fucking star. Ah, for fuck's sakes. Fuck it. See, now that's a good mark. I don't know what my problem is with Earth Far Horizon, but I just suck at those marks apparently today. Okay, wait for MCC decision update. Alright, CSM is ready for state vector updates. This is giving us our PTC refs map. Good. All right, now that we're out in the black, we can do a few procedures to disable our primary evaporator now. Okay. P52. And this is going to be preferred. Good. Okay. GNC PTC. So for this one, we take our current roll angle And then we just maneuver the spacecraft to whatever the flight plan says. And this is going to be a position that is perpendicular to the sun. So we can see once maneuvering, once we are in our attitude, we're going to be perpendicular to the sun. And this ensures a nice stable heat across the entirety of the spacecraft. So once we are in attitude, there we go. We can begin our PTC. Now for this, we head back to program 00. Ensure all is rate command, rate 2, CMC 51. And now we change the dead band, verb 48, verb 24. So it's going to be 2, 1, 1, 0, 1, enter. And for our roll, BD are the lowest, so we'll use AC 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Enter. Proceed, proceed, proceed. We have already maneuvered to our PTC attitude, so we can skip that. Now we need to disable the lowest fuel adjacent quads on auto RCS. So that would be B and D. So disable BD roll. And now we need to wait 20 minutes in this attitude, set pitch and yaw to Excel command after that. So we'll time skip 20 minutes. This ensures that we heat up this one side of the spacecraft. Go, just got myself a little bit of water. Am a wee bit parched. So we're gonna go to about 33 or so minutes, and unfortunately we can't time scale times 100 where I would, but auto maneuvering when time scaling is a recipe for killing your RCS. So we'll approach that 33-minute mark, almost there. Just 3 more minutes. So yeah, you hold attitude for 20 minutes. And then you're going to enable all of the jets. So here we are. We've waited our 20 minutes. Now we'll set pitch and yaw to Excel commands, and we will enable our quads again. And now we get to do some computer wizardry. So make sure to follow exactly as I do, or you can cause some pretty significant damage to the computer. Yes? And by damage, I mean you're just going to mess up some flags, and you'll need to fix it yourself. But computer can't really get damaged, but yeah. Something you need to be wary about. So verb 21, noun 01. Yeah, now we're going into the memory. 1332 00000. This sets the hold flag on the computer, so it will not auto maneuver. Now we do the programming of the 0.3 degree per second roll flags. So verb 24, noun 01, enter 3125, enter 12, enter 35400, enter verb 24, noun 01, enter 3175, enter 2, enter 27303, enter. Now we can remove the hold flag. So verb 21, noun 01, enter 1332, enter 70000. And as soon as you hit enter, boom, we begin a roll. And we're going to wait a couple of seconds for that roll rate to finish establishing itself. All right, once the roll rate has been established, we could change that 30-degree deadband. So verb 21, noun 01, enter 3255, enter 5252, enter. Now we're at a 30-degree deadband. Roll goes to Excel command. Pitch and yaw go to rate command. And we enter. And this sort of gets the disky like this. And now we turn off all of our RCS jets. And we are officially in PTC. So, thanks for watching. All right. Now, there is not much to do. It's approaching the very end of the day, so we just do a couple housekeeping procedures, and that's really it from there. Gotta turn that music back on. Let's go with reminds me of Dwarf Fortress. For those very few amazing people that have actually played Dwarf Fortress at all in their lives. Since we're in PTC, we are not going to do our verb 37 enter 00 enter stuff like that. manual verb 66. I'm actually quite a big fan of that song. It's about one of the best royalty-free ones they have. Um, good. Oh, cryo stir is complete. And water chlorination is complete. We are now going to start sleep procedures. And our rest period has officially begun. So with that, I think we are going to call it for this Apollo 11 activities for the day, and we're going to move on to something just a little more fun. Just a little more fun. I haven't played any actual games in a while, you know? So let's move on to something real quick. GNC PTC. CSM GNC PTC. GNC. Passive thermal control. Right. Now, what you guys want to do? I think. Yeah, let's see. What do we want to do now that we're done? We're just gonna do some. Here, I'm actually gonna. I'll make a new stream. That's probably gonna be better.